Hello everybody, my name is Hocus and welcome back to the Minecraft LP for episode number 2. Before we jump too deep into today's proceedings, I just want to remind you, the viewer, to like the video if you enjoy it. And if you happen to be new, then first of all, welcome to the channel. My name is, of course, Hocus. I hope you're enjoying your stay today. Please consider subscribing to stay tuned to this series and other awesome Minecraft content. And finally, drop that comment below if you've got anything to say about today's video. But that does bring us on to the first topic of episode 2 of the Minecraft LP. Exclusively to the Minecraft LP series, this very series that you're watching now, I would like to implement a comment of the day / comment of the episode type segment within each episode. So generally I do this towards the end of the video, but today, to make you guys aware, because I know that not everybody watches every episode to the end, and that is very understandable, I am going to do it early on, just so that, like I say, you guys know that this is going to happen, and you can look out for your comments to be picked at the end of each episode. So, for this episode's comment, I've done something that is a little bit cliche. I've chosen every single comment so far on the video because I just wanted to express my appreciation for the support that you guys have given me on episode 1. It seems like pretty much everybody that watched it enjoyed it, and I did put a lot of effort into that video, so it was really nice to see the feedback that you guys gave me, and a lot of it was very positive, and like I say, it seemed like you enjoyed the video. I would like to just highlight this comment here from K9 Fox. K9 is an OG on the channel, has been with me since under 100 subscribers, so the fact that K9 is still around is unbelievable. K9, thank you very much in particular. I also appreciate the love and support from the Ramblecraft guys. Binary and Endevar are always there for me. Every single video. Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. And then another little shout out to Eon, who says, can't wait to watch more of your legs play. I like that comment, it's funny. He did correct himself, or she did correct herself, but I didn't include that because legs play is so funny. Better than let's play, right? Before we do move on from this segment though, there is one comment that I'd like to talk about a little bit, just because I feel like we should do that today, instead of being super cliche. So Tandem wrote, yeah, from what I'm seeing, caving is probably going to be better for getting diamonds, which might be a good call. By the way, Hocus, have you built something with mostly concrete before? If not, I would love to see you try. I think you could make something great. The reason why I picked this comment out is in relation to the style in which this house is built. So I'd say this is probably medieval style, right? Looks very medievally, if that's even a word. And to answer Tandem's question, no, I really don't build a lot of stuff out of concrete. Generally, I opt for the medieval theme. That is my comfort zone. I said that to him in my response to his comment. But I really would like to, in this series, explore different build types and different build styles, because it's more interesting, more fun to have different styles in your world. And thematically, I've always kept very close to medieval. And although it does look very good, I would like to branch out. So yes, Tandem, eventually we will use some concrete and other block types, because it would be nice to have a little bit of variance in the world. I would like to begin spending these 75 levels that I have. It's almost getting to a stage where I'm nervous to play, because if I die, I'm going to lose a significant amount of experience. So we should probably set our sights on getting an enchanting setup going within the first part of today's episode. And a good way to get that going is to kill some cows for the leather. We're going to need to create some bookshelves. Come to think of it, I can't believe that I didn't create an enchanting setup during the initial 40-day montage that we went through. I guess what that shows you is that it's still very, very simple to kill the Ender Dragon. Not much thought is required. You just need some diamond gear, a shield, maybe a golden apple or two, and a decent enough weapon. Totally temporary setup, by the way, guys. This will be moved when we get round to some interior decoration. Looking back at the armor that I traded for with the villagers, I'm not really content with any of it. It's all quite terrible in terms of enchantment. So I think the best thing to do would just be to strip it all and re-enchant, since we have so many levels to work with here. Anything protection 4, I'm probably just going to have to take. Ah, darn it, no unbreaking. That's a shame. But protection 4 is probably going to be one of the most beneficial enchantments I could get for myself at the moment. Okay, so I think I'll take that on the boots, since it has Depth Strider. And Depth Strider is such an important enchantment for me, just because walking through water can be really, really boring. Okay, another protection 4 only enchantment. That's, again, a little bit of a shame. Oh, and then right away afterwards, Fortune 3, which I've been looking for. Unbreaking 3 is just eluding us today. Power 4 book. I'm definitely going to take that because I would like to re-enchant my bow. Nice. I would like Aqua Affinity, but I'll take Protection 4, Unbreaking 3. Now for the bow, I was really hoping for Infinity. I managed to get Unbreaking 3 on its own, so we'll add the Power 4. And that gives us a pretty strong bow, but unfortunately, we'll have to carry many, many arrows for it to be effective. Now back over at the village, because I think we could spend a little bit of time just getting our hands on some Mending and Unbreaking 3 books. I've got a dude here who's willing to sell Mending. No. Oh, I didn't bring books, did I? Oh. Fortunately, I brought my trusty Elytra with me, and it was quick enough to pop back and grab some books. So let's go ahead and lock this trade in. Don't want to lose this guy. Very good. And not so long after getting our Mending villager, we now have an Unbreaking 3 villager at a very good price as well. 16 emeralds. You usually see Unbreaking 3 trades up in the, I don't know, late 20s, early 30s, possibly even in the 40s range. So that's a decent price. That is very good. All right then. So my stay at the village is coming to an end. It's been roughly 5, maybe 6 Minecraft days now. And the village status is very healthy at the moment. There has been population growth whilst I was here, and you can see there are still babies lingering around. I have some fresh villagers that do not have jobs ready to use, so if there is another trade that I need to get my hands on, we are good to go. Before I use my levels to add books to armor, I would like to try my luck at a new sword. That might be useful. Ideally, I'm looking for Looting 3. Fire Aspect 2 probably isn't going to cut it. I've got one more chance, and then we have to wait. So, luck wasn't on my side with the Diamond Sword. Ended up with this, which isn't too good, really. But I've got the axe, which I'll probably stick to for now. Anyhow, we have got some armor pieces to add books to. So what I've done is made sure that everything is going to have Unbreaking 3 and Mending at minimum. And you might be wondering why I've decided to do that. You might be thinking that it's a little bit of a waste to add such good enchantments to the armor that I'm currently wearing. But the reason why I've done that is because today I plan to fight at least 2 withers. And again, that's kind of why I was looking for the looting book, because otherwise it's going to take a lot longer to get the skulls required. But I guess we're just going to have to grind it out for today because looting was not on the table. Another day, another recording session, and what I hope to be the final recording session before being able to release this video to you, the viewers, the public, the YouTube audience. In between recordings, or as the YouTubers like to call it, off camera, I have been doing a little bit of spelunking, trying to... Have I moved everything? I think I've already moved everything. I'm sorry, it's in this chest here. Trying to get a little bit more iron, because this anvil here almost reduced me to 0 iron ingots, which... I didn't want that to happen. That would be a massive shame. But I also came by a lot of copper because in the 1.18 update, as you guys probably know, the copper ore block now gives you much more raw copper. And with the Fortune 3 enchantment on the pickaxe, you just get tons of it. It's really easy to come by. I have also made the executive decision to worry about looting 3 and not to grind out the wither skeleton skulls. Now, the statistics don't lie. There is a 2.5% chance to get a wither skeleton skull from a wither each time you kill one, and that can be improved to 5.5% with looting 3. So when the margins are so slim, I think it's probably in our best interest to try and increase the chances as much as possible. And for that reason, we are heading back to the village once again, when I've already been there for a good amount of time this episode, to try to get ourselves another villager that will sell us a different kind of book. Okay. Fortunately, it didn't take too long. This is the guy. As you can see, they're charging me higher prices because I've accidentally hit 3 villagers whilst being here, and it's never happened before, so I don't know. But they're trying to rob me now. But there is the Looting 3 book. We can now relax. Well, we can't relax because we're actually about to head into the Nether and fight a bunch of wither skeletons, which is never relaxing. Kaboom! And that actually is a quite nice sword for the circumstances because Smite 4 should work against the undead wither skeletons. Nice. All right, cool. So here we are back in the Nether, the scary dark, weird sounds, nether. And this is awesome. I've come across some Nether Wart right away, which was something else, which was on my little checklist of things that I'd like to pick up, like my small grocery list at the Nether Fortress. Like, item number 1, I need some Wither Skulls. Item number 2, I need some Nether Wart. And hey, would you look at that, on aisle number 1, we found Nether Wart. Amazing. Why, hello there, my fellow shoppers. How are you today? Too tall to fit through the gap, I see. Will I get lucky? I absolutely will not. I've now relocated to another fortress, a different one, because the first one wasn't bearing much fruit. I also have 1 wither skeleton skull to my name. I've been grinding for around an hour. It's been a tough process. Oh boy. Deep sigh, because firstly, relieved that we're out of the nether. It's very stressful there, and there were a few times where I was on half a heart and close to death. That would have been painful. Also, 6 wither skeleton skulls. 6! Now, I won't lie. As I said earlier, that was a painful expedition. I've probably spent about 2 hours collecting them. And as always seems to happen to me, the first one takes forever. The second one generally takes about half the time of the first. And then from there, the floodgates are well and truly open, and you just seem to get loads and loads and loads, one after the other. But I am happy to have all 6, because I almost resigned myself to just the 1 wither fight today. But that would have been a failure on my part, because I wanted to do 2, and 2 thee shall get. I also managed to pick up a bunch of other cool stuff, including 9 diamonds, some diamond horse armor, and just a bunch of resources. Nether Wart being a good one, because now we can start potion brewing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to hit the climax of the episode. We are not only about to fight 1 wither, but 2. Not at the same time. That might just about be suicide at this point. I haven't fought a wither in a long time, and I have had disasters in the past. Inventory's looking messy, but something like this. We've got regen potions, strength potions, healing potions, milk buckets, a bow, a sword, our pickaxe, and golden apples, steak for food, shields as a backup. My plan is to fight down in the branch mine, specifically in the deep slate area. Now, deep slate takes longer to break than cobblestone, so I'm assuming it's got a better blast resistance, which might mean the wither is easier to fight in amongst the deep slate because it won't be able to escape it so easily. All the way to the bottom of the world. That way, we might also uncover some diamonds if we're fortunate. I won't lie, I'm feeling quite nervous about this. I always do when I come to fight bosses. I don't know why, because I've done it before and I've been successful, but there's always that part of me that fears losing my gear. 1 final skull. And back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Don't want to get caught in the explosion. I've made that mistake before. Let's do it. So the easy part is the first segment, which is the bow. I just don't like the part where you have to get close. But with smite on the sword, we should be in a good position. Okay, here we go. And as is always the case, we massively over-prepared because that was just so straightforward. I don't think I'll even need to prepare for the next fight. I can probably just jump right in. In fact, I didn't even get the wither effect, which is a rarity for me. So let's go again one more time. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. All right, wither number 2, it's your turn. Where did you go? Is he still there? Oh, yep, yep. I see him. I see him. Come on. Play the game. This one's being awfully difficult. Alright, we're at the halfway point again, so sword, sword, slice, slice, dice. Can we go unwithered? We can! Alright, 2 nether stars. Sweet. Light the area back up. Doesn't look as though we were fortunate enough to find diamonds, but we did uncover some redstone, so I'm gonna take it. Little bonus for the fight. And our dominance over the withers leaves us with just one final thing to do before we move into the final act of today's episode, and that is to craft up a couple of beacons. However, the big caveat and the thing holding us back is that we have nowhere near enough resources to make a beacon base. So we are going to have to put pickaxe to war and get some mining done in the very, very near future. Otherwise, these beautiful things are going to waste. In fact, one more quick side note before we move on. I was just enchanting a diamond pickaxe trying to get Silk Touch. I took a risk because I couldn't get it guaranteed, and I got a repeat of the Efficiency 4 Fortune 3 pick, so I figured, why not combine them and get Efficiency 5? Very nice indeed. I'll take it. Okay, cool. Now that work there puts us in a nice position in such an early episode, so I'm really pleased with how far we've progressed already. And what I want to look into next is constructing an interior for our home. However, I have realized between episodes that we have got this part here all wrong, haven't we? We actually should be extending the roof inside of the building here. So what we actually want is the roof to look like this, and then on the inside here we can add some blocks in to make it look complete. Now, instead of what we have, which looked kind of strange, we've got something more in line with the roof design, which should continue down here. There shouldn't be a random wall that just intersects the roof here. So, looking a lot better. And you know what? It would look even better if we just flip that trapdoor back to where it should be. And we should probably add another trapdoor. I wish Minecraft would allow us to place multiple blocks inside the same block space, because having another trapdoor there would just be perfect. Moving on to some actual interior design, we have our first room inside of the house completed, and it is the enchanting room. We've pretty much kept things where they were, moved some bookshelves around, added some detail, and just made it a lot cozier. I really like this. It's like a little book nook, if you guys know what I mean, except ours has the ability to supply us with level 30 enchantments, and right now we do have a Silk Touch, so that is very good indeed. With the enchanting room set up, I'm now going to work on a small bedroom in this nook here. And once again, guys, I'm using Google Images as a resource to inspire me and help me build. I don't tend to do very well with the small details in this game, so interiors can be tough. So we've got this exterior frame around the bed involving barrels and some spruce wood. On the inside, we're going to have the bed in which we will actually sleep. And then I'm going to create a frame around it using some spruce. So I just need to remember how far this is going to come out. The pillow will remain white. That will be the top of the bed. We'll drag this out, I think, maybe like that, I want to say. And that will do the trick. And then we want to go red carpet across there, and across there. So essentially we're emulating a bed, but just in a much greater size. To add a little bit more detail to the bed itself, we will place some signs across both of the outside areas. And then, right at the base of the bed, we'll have some spruce trapdoors. And all in all, looks pretty good. Nice and tidy. And we'll actually be able to access the bed, so we can sleep inside of this giant fake bed. With the bed in place, I've sectioned off the nook a little bit more and added a sort of ceiling on the inside. It's all very monotone in color, but that's okay, because this interior is going to be heavily spruce based. Now, it is nighttime, so let's demonstrate the bed together. Right click it, and we're under the carpet. It looks pretty funny. And next morning, we're outside. Interesting. Now, that's not really where I want to be. Getting back inside could be a little bit of an issue as well. Maybe we could do something like that, back inside, but it's not ideal, is it? So, I'll see how I get on. That was a close call. Not gonna lie, guys, I was ready to give up. I was getting down about the kitchen behind me. Not really pleased with how the kitchen turned out. I guess it could be worse. I was upset with a fireplace that I built right here. I guess, again, it's not terrible, but there's something about these two things that since adding them to the interior, I haven't been pleased with it. But ultimately, I think I've turned it around. And now I have a downstairs interior that I'm proud of. So this right here is the back door, wrong one. This here is the main door. So that's generally where we'll enter and exit the building from. I've sectioned off the interior into a corridor type system, which I think works much better. So you saw the kitchen. I didn't bother making any changes because now that I've sectioned the inside off, I think it looks okay with the rest of the build. I've got a nice little painting here with a freaky spider and a guy, possibly, and then whatever's going on here. I really don't know what this is supposed to be. Someone maybe can enlighten me in the comments. I've got some lighting hanging around and these trapdoors, and the only reason I've added those is because there are some blocks that I cannot remove. For example, this one right here, so I thought I'd cover them up instead of ruining the pattern that I've got going on. I've added this funky looking staircase, a mini chandelier, which is just a hopper, but I think it looks pretty cool just to add some lighting here. And another nice thing about the 1.18 update is that mobs can now only spawn at a light level of 0, so you don't necessarily have to think too hard about lighting your base. As long as it's above 0, which all of the blocks on this downstairs floor are, you're good to go. There's no danger, which is really, really nice because it means you don't have to use ugly torches so often. There probably will be a few more changes to make. For example, I might do things like that just for extra detail and a little bit more depth in the room. If we go back upstairs, the second floor, first floor, upper floor, whatever you want to call it, is a mess, and it's probably going to stay this way, to be honest. I think we won't worry too much about how the upstairs looks, and I maybe want to just add a bunch of chests and storage up here so that we've got somewhere to put our items for the time being. But all in all, I've had my ups and my downs with this interior design, and I think in the end, it's turned out quite well. So I'd love to know what you guys think about it, and if you have maybe any small ideas of how I could change it for the better, again, please do let me know. I'd appreciate it. One thing I will add, just in case any of you are considering mentioning it, I will add carpet as soon as we can get our hands on some, but at the moment, colors are limited, wool is limited, and it just isn't the right time. So, like I say, carpet will be a feature to add once we can seriously consider it. Alright then, everybody, that is going to be all for episode 2 of the Minecraft LP series. As I mentioned at the start of the video, please be sure to drop a like if you have enjoyed it today. Any newcomers to the channel that want to stay tuned, please consider subscribing, I'd appreciate it. And if you do so, then welcome to the channel. I'm glad to have you here. It's going to be an awesome journey. And finally, make sure to drop those comments. Remember, earlier in the video, we did talk about comment of the episode. So if you want a chance to have your comment featured in that segment in the next episode, then leave one right now, and you never know. All right then, guys, take care. And until the next one, bye for now.